What is going on, Glitcher Gang? It is your boy GlitcherBro23 here, back with another Immortal technique reaction. Man, it's been a minute, like a fat minute, like almost a year minute since we've done a new Immortal technique reaction. I think we did a grinder reactions to him. I know we definitely did in 2021. I think that's actually how we closed the year off, if I'm not mistaken, either in 2021 or 2020. But I don't know how much Immortal Technique, I don't recall how many Immortal Technique reactions we did last year, you know, and that's just because of my inactivity on YouTube last year, you know what I mean? So, but we're back with another Immortal Technique reaction. This time we got something from, I believe, his very first studio album. We got The Poverty of Philosophy, which when you look at the title, I feel like it should almost be reversed, like it should be the other way around, the philosophy of poverty, you know what I mean? But there's got to be a meaning to this. We got another 6-minute track right here. I believe this is the same album that Dance with the Devil is on. But if you guys want to see more Immortal Technique reactions, do me a huge solid. As always, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, comment what you want to see next, share your thoughts and opinions about the track, my reaction to it by the end of the video. Guys want to join the Glitcher Gang Discord? As always, links down below in the description, along with the reaction request form for those of you who want to see me react to requests sooner or later. We finna just get straight on into it, man. I haven't heard some new Immortal Technique in a minute, but there are a handful of tracks I have added throughout these because of these reactions. So I'm definitely glad we're getting back into Immortal Technique. Let's get into it.
Most of my Latino and black people who are struggling to get food, clothes, and shelter in the hood are so concerned with that philosophizing about freedom and socialist democracy is usually, unfortunately, beyond their rationale. They don't realize that America can't exist without separating them from their identity. Because if we had some sense of who we really are, there's no way in hell we'd allow this country to push its genocidal consensus on our homelands. This ignorance exists, but it can be destroyed. Niggas talk about change and working within the system to achieve that. The problem with always being a conformist is that when you try to change the system from within, it's not you who changes the system, it's the system that will eventually change you. There is usually nothing wrong.
It's not that you're trying to change the system, it's that the system changes you. If that ain't the realest shit y'all have ever heard, like, that's just life, man. That's just life. Like, it doesn't matter what environment you step in, it'll change you. As true as you try to be to yourself and try to maybe make things better, and like this whole thing about the system being corrupt and trying to change it has always been relevant. It's still relevant to this day, you know, but it'll change you before you change it. That's crazy, and he's just talking to start the track. He's not even rapping yet.
With compromising a situation, but compromising yourself in a situation is another story completely. And I have seen this happen long enough in the few years that I've been alive to know that it's a serious problem. Latino America is a huge colony of countries whose presidents are cowards in the face of economic imperialism. You see, third world countries are rich places, abundant in resources, and many of these countries have the capacity to feed their starving people and the children we always see digging for food and trash on commercials. But plutocracies, in other words, a government run by the rich, such as this one, and traditionally oppressive European states, force the third world into buying overpriced, unnecessary goods while exporting huge portions of their natural resources. I'm quite sure that people will look.
He's talking a lot, man. He's talking a lot of real shit that I don't think people are aware of or even bring to light. He's like, we see these kids digging through the trash in these third world countries, but really these countries could be providing those kids instead of shipping and trading some of those products from the homeland country. Instead of shipping and trading some of those products and exporting them out, they could be giving them to these families, to the people who need them most in their homeland country. Golly. And he's using America as an example too, you know, like, we know Immortal Technique don't like America, and and throughout his music has been using his platform to like call out the corruption within the system that he's talking about. But and hearing him like at such a young age talk about this too is it's crazy. It's wild.
Upon my attitude and sentiments and look for hypocrisy and hatred in my words. My revolution is born out of love for my people, not hatred for others. You see, most of Latinos are here because of the great inflation that was caused by American companies in Latin America. Aside from that, many are seeking a life away from the puppet democracies that were funded by the United States. Places like El Salvador, Guatemala, Peru, Colombia, Nicaragua, Ecuador, and República Dominicana. And not just Spanish-speaking countries either, but Haiti and Jamaica as well. As different as we have been taught to look at each other by colonial society, we are in the same struggle. And until we realize that, we'll be fighting for scraps from the table of a system that has kept us subservient instead of being self-determined. And that's...
Dawg, he is saying so much. And he hasn't even started rapping. I'm almost scared of what he's going to say when he starts rapping. I genuinely am. Like, this man just pulling a Tupac right now and just talking to the audience, just educating them right now. Like, this sounds like the start of the album, to be 100% honest. With as much as he's talking, this honestly sounds like this could possibly be the start to this this album right here, which I think is just known as Revolutionary Volume 1, if I'm not mistaken.
And until we realize that, we'll be fighting for scraps from the table of a system that has kept us subservient instead of being self-determined. And that's why we have no control over when the embargo will stop in Cuba or when the bombs will stop dropping in Vieques. But you see, here in America, the attitude that is fed to us is that outside of America, there live lesser people. Fuck them, let them fend for themselves. No, fuck you. They are you. No matter how much you want to dye your hair blonde and put fake eyes in, or follow an anorexic standard of beauty, or no matter how many diamonds you buy from people who exploit your own brutally to get them, no matter what kind of car you drive, or what kind of
Not only did he say fuck you to the white people, he said no matter how you try to cover yourself up, like whether it be with the blonde hair, the blue eyes, the nice cars, you know, like does he literally just talk this? At this point, I wouldn't mind if he just talked this entire track. I really wouldn't. Like, I would have no complaints if he just talked this entire track.
In or follow an anorexic standard of beauty, or no matter how many diamonds you buy from people who exploit your own brutally to get them, no matter what kind of car you drive or what kind of fancy clothes you put on, you will never be them. They're always gonna look at you as nothing but a little monkey. I'd rather be proud of what I am rather than desperately try to be something I'm really not just to fit in.
Amen, brother. Hey, fucking men, man. Amen, Immortal Technique. Don't try to blend in with them. Be proud of who you are, man. There's so many artists, so many rappers who preach this. Like, just preach this idea of creating your own identity. Don't give in to white America. Don't give in, man. Like, they're gonna hate you no matter what, no matter how much you try to blend in. If you are a minority, be proud of that shit. Be proud of where you come from. Be proud of where your ancestors are from, man. Like, and I'm only saying this because Technique said it, but I preach. I like seriously believe like and not letting white America or like certain like privileged people get to me thinking they're better than me, thinking that they know more than me, because they don't. I know I have the ability to learn just as much as them. I have the same advantages of them, same disadvantages, and I'm gonna take grasp of every chance I get and try to prove some of those people wrong. I had to do it my entire life. My entire life. Me and my family were in this basketball league that hated us. Not only because we were better than them, but because we were Hispanic and better than them. I had to face that in my entire life. I had to prove myself when I was growing up that I was the best basketball player in my town, being Hispanic. Come on, man. If that ain't the realest shit you ever heard. And if anybody knows me IRL, man, you know that's true. Everybody in this town, to this day, where I still live, to this day, still hates me and my family. And now we are actually, pretty much my entire family is banned from going back to that basketball league. That's some shit, huh? That's some shit.
To look at you as nothing but a little monkey. I'd rather be proud of what I am rather than desperately try to be something I'm really not, just to fit in. And whether we want to accept it or not, that's what this culture or lack of culture is feeding us. I want a better life for my family and for my children, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of millions of lives in my homeland. We're given the idea that if we didn't have these people to exploit, that America wouldn't be rich enough to let us have these little petty material things in our lives and basic standards of living. No, that's wrong. It's the business giants and the government officials who make all the real money. We have whatever they kick down to us. My enemy is not the average white man. It's not the kid down the block or the kids I see on the street. My enemy is the white man I don't see. The people in the White House, the corporate monopoly owners, fake liberal politicians. Those are my enemies. The generals of the armies that are mostly conservative. Those are the real motherfuckers that I need to bring it to. Not the poor, broke, country-ass soldier that's too stupid to know shit about the way things are set up. In fact, I have more in common with most...
Oh my god. Oh, that's how it be for me, for real. That's how it be for me, for real, man. Like, some people are just too dumb to try to educate and try to get your point across. It's not even worth, like, talking to them. It's not even worth fighting for what you believe in, because they're too stupid to comprehend it. Oh my god. Immortal Tech. Bro, he's really finna talk the entire track. I love it. Best way to get back into Immortal Technique reactions.
Broke country-ass soldier that's too stupid to know shit about the way things are set up. In fact, I have more in common with most working and middle-class white people than I do with most rich black and Latino people. As much as racism bleeds America, we need to understand that classism is the real issue. Many of us are in the same boat, and it's sinking, while these bougie motherfuckers ride on the luxury liner. And as long as we keep fighting over kicking people out of the little boat we're all in, we're gonna miss an opportunity to gain a better standard of living as a whole. In other words, I don't want to escape the plantation. I want to come back, free all my people, hang the motherfucker that kept me there, and burn the house to the goddamn ground. I want to take over the encomienda and give it back to the people who work the land. You cannot change the past, but you can make the future. And anyone who tells you different is a fucking lethargic devil. I
cannot change the past. Bro, there's so many. If that's how he seriously opened up, I'm genuinely curious now. Is this like the opening track? Damn, it's almost 11:30. Is this the opening track on this album? Because if so, this is like the perfect, absolute perfect way to open up an album. Wow, it's seriously, wow, this isn't like until midway through the album. I'm actually very surprised by that. This would have been an incredible opening track. This would have been an incredible opening track. That's actually really surprising. But I guess it serves more as an interlude now that I look at it in the track list. But still a very powerful track to say the least. And he's just talking. He's not even rapping. He's just talking. And everything, you gotta digest everything and really put all your biases aside and just really listen to how he's putting this shit. how he's passionately talking about this, and how he's just right about it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much that he's like truly speaking about that I believe you could get behind, despite your own opinions.
The past, but you can make the future, and anyone who tells you different is a fucking lethargic devil. I don't look at a few token Latinos and black people in the public eye as some type of achievement for my people as a whole. Most of those successful individuals are just sellouts and house Negroes. But I don't consider brothers a sellout if they move out of the ghetto. Poverty has nothing to do with our people. It's not in our culture to be poor. That's only been the last 500 years of our history. Look at the last 2,000 years of our existence and what we brought to the world in terms of science, mathematics, agriculture, and forms of government. You know, the idea of a confederation of provinces where one federal government controls the states? The Europeans who came to this country stole that idea from the Iroquois League. The idea of impeaching a ruler comes from an Aztec tradition. That's why Montezuma was stoned to death by his own people, because he represented the agenda of white Spaniards once he was captured, not the Aztec people who would become Mexicans. So in conclusion, I'm not gonna vote for anybody just because they black or Latino. They have to truly represent the community and represent what's good for all of us proletariat. Porque si no, entonces te mando pa'l carajo, cabrón, gusano, hijo de puta. Seramos libres pronto. ¡Viva la revolución! ¡Viva la revolución!
Bro. What do I even say to that? There's no way to follow that up. That was just a powerful speech. Just, he was preaching everything that he was thinking of. And he made it like, he put a lot of emotion, he put a lot of knowledge, a lot of facts, a lot of history into that speech, man. Like, it was just almost a 7-minute speech of him just telling history. Like, what is there to critique about that? That's wild, man. That literally, that speech right there is as powerful, if not more, than the story of Dance with the Devil. Like, that's seriously, and it's just a speech. It's just a speech, man, and it's as powerful as one of the most, like, without a doubt, one of the greatest storytelling tracks in hip-hop. And it was just a speech. That's crazy. That's a way to come back to Immortal Technique reactions. That's like the perfect way to come back to Immortal Technique reactions. Y'all know what to do by this point, man. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment what you want to see next. Share your thoughts and opinions about the track and my reaction to it. You guys want to join the Glitcher Gang Discord? Where is it? It's up here. I don't know why my arm gets cut off. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Links in the description, as always, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.